There's only one way to find out. This was the thought that went through my mind as I leapt off a 25-foot cliff that I was sure hoping was the place everyone had called Nelson's Landing.
This is my crazy husband about to cliff jump in the dark. Oh my word.
It was dark. We weren't sure. We'd never been there. We were looking for the place to jump. Conveniently, there was this guy behind me who, with great confidence, said, "Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is it." In retrospect, I probably should have questioned his judgment when I saw the tall boy beer in his hand. Still, he started counting down from 10, and we took the jump. And we found out it was exactly the right place. We were falling and falling. As soon as it occurred to us, well, I wonder when the water's coming, splash down. It was awesome. So we went 2, 3 more times. It was so good. It's the kind of thing you can only find out by doing. One of the things that we say around Canyon Ridge a lot is that we want to be people who celebrate what God does, who are shaped by Him, who do what He says, and who multiply or share the good of what God is up to. And this week, we're going to pull all 4 of those things into one post. We'll see all of these in a story. It's actually what I love so much about this thing that a lot of groups have been trying called Discovery Bible Study. All 4 of those things are dotted in the process. In fact, here are 2 stories of people who showed up, who listened to God, who said, "I'll do it." They tried it and they found out. Check this out.
One of the stories that comes to mind really quick is a young lady joined a group on Wednesday night. She thought she was just coming to a Bible study. She had no idea what it was even about. It was just a relational invite from a friend. And she came, and we got to the end, and she realized that there was going to be some "I will" statements to be had. And so she was just feeling really pulled by God to reach out to her new neighbor who just moved in across the street. And she accidentally received a package from Amazon that had his name on it. And she was just going to return it. But because of what she learned from Scripture and God speaking to her heart, she decided that she was going to take that package back, but with purpose. And so she took that package back to her new neighbor and got to tell him the story that we covered that night, and got an opportunity to share her faith with him right there and then. And so their relationship kind of evolved into, just getting to talk about Jesus a little bit. She even asked our group to be praying for him by name, and just seeing where that relationship will go, and if maybe she would get to invite him to learn more of these stories that we're doing through DBS.
That's a great story. I love that she didn't even know what she was showing up for, but she just said, "I'm in." Like the top of a cliff, countdown from 10, I'm going. And God writes this amazing story that we can celebrate. It shaped her, built her confidence in her faith. So, so good. Here's another story. Check this out.
I've got a friend that's in one of the groups, and he's a pretty upper level leader at his business. And during this time of COVID-19, they've been working maybe more than ever. He's in a business that has really been hectic and stressful, and he has hundreds of employees underneath his care. And of course, he has a team that directly reports to him, and they've been feeling a lot of stress and dealing with a lot of hard decisions. When we were in DBS, he heard God lead him to try and find the good in this season and take that good in that time to his employees, specifically the team that he directly leads. So he wrote down an "I will" statement that he was going to begin to bring and find good things with his team. So he went to work and he gathered them up, and things got really high stress that day. And he stopped the meeting and said, "Hey, everybody, let's take some time and identify, each one of us, something in our lives that is good right now." And they have now added that to their daily meetings when they get together to try and offset all the stress that's happening in his business. And he's been sharing with us that it's been a culture changer in his work, where he didn't necessarily always take the opportunities to talk about Jesus and find good things. That's starting to ripple through his team.
So cool, right? A guy who just listens simply to the best of his knowledge to what God is saying, puts it into practice. That's the key. And God does some really cool stuff in a workplace, opening some better relationships, a better work environment, some new opportunities to point people in Jesus' direction. This is what happens when we become doers. So I want to encourage you, wherever you are gathering with God's people, let's focus in on costly, tangible, immediately obeying or doing what God is saying. And let's also embrace this idea of risky sharing with others, of telling the story of what God is up to in our lives. These are the ways that God is going to shape us. These are the ways that are going to create the kind of celebration stories that all of us are eager to see in our own lives and the lives of people that we care about. So tell some stories in the comments. Tell some stories to your friends. If there are things you're trying to figure out how to obey, we'd love to pray and support you. All of us will just come alongside and make some comments and try to give you some courage. But let's be people who do.